I feel like the mindset of the youth nowadays is completely different from like before. Where I feel like my parents' generation, they worked hard. Like they were like they didn't complain, no you didn't care for unions. Right nowadays, the new generation, they're all about time off. They all need like care. They all like it's you don't think that's also had a factor to play?
No, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. When you were saying that, I was just thinking about the previous generations, like even the ones who did have unions and stuff like that. Like, when you look back at early the industrial age, all the
Exactly.
way up to the 60s and all that stuff. Like, yeah, people took their job serious. People really worked
A
hard,
badge of honor. Like they loved
Yeah,
it. Like working was
yeah.
like,
But when white collar work came in, which was mostly, again, this is where the gender stuff come into play at. When America switched from production to service-based economy, it was able to affect the unions, effectively really kind of like just kill the unions
man,
because they were able to pay women to do jobs that
man.
didn't require unionization. They wasn't really interested in
It was
unionization.
like
You
the
know what I'm
first
saying?
immigrants type model.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, yeah, like so we kill the unions with that.
Yeah,
But again, that's because of service-based jobs. They don't necessarily have to have that same safety protections that you would in those blue collar jobs. You know what I mean? The factory and the production and stuff like that. Even still, even in that period, those women took their jobs very serious. They were there to do the job, to get paid. In general, yeah, work culture has changed because employees brag about how often they BS at work and it's Friday. I'm not really trying to work that hard. Why are you giving me extra work to do? And I think
yeah,
that also coincides though as well, not just with employees becoming lazier, but with jobs of devaluing the value of labor. You see what I'm
mm,
saying? Because before you could get a pension, you had loyalty, the job would be loyal to you. But
yeah,
when the frame of capitalism changed, there was a transition of capitalism from the concept of laissez-faire free market. Like if we both open up burger shops, capitalism and free market suggested that whoever has the best burger wins. You see? But it switched in like this to everything is to benefit the shareholder. You see, so then that's when they had these mass layoffs, and somebody could be working at a job for 20 years and gave they all, and they
yeah,
just get fired and
yeah,
replaced. So I think that also had something to do with people not taking their jobs as serious as they used to do because they realized that they're replaceable. The jobs don't really care about you, so I'm just here to get my check and do as least work as possible.
yeah. What shift was that? Because we saw that in all industries, even in sports. You saw like players that were loyal to one team, right? Like that was the thing back in the day. And then now it's like team players are opting to like the best contract, best like players are thinking in entrepreneur mindset of like, how do I just get mine? Like forget like this loyalty because it seems like it's only a one-sided conversation. But when I gotta go, they're gonna trade me for assets. You know what I mean? Like it
Hmm.
seems like that entire mentality had shifted where it became just like a numbers game as
Yeah.
opposed to loyalty game or anything like that.
Yeah, I would say that's the same effect, basically.
It's the corporation effect. Like that's just corporate
Yeah,
all across the board.
all across the board because you had players who was loyal and then, you
Yeah.
you saw that where it was basically when Jordan left the league. Kobe was
Mm.
probably like the last player to have that.
Kobe and like Dirk
Yeah, Kobe and Dirk were definitely the last two players
and
to
Tim.
have,
That like that. Yeah, yeah,
and
that little
Tim, Kobe,
dynasty.
that
Yeah,
generation.
yeah, that generation. Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I
Like the
mean?
LeBron generation, like when LeBron went to Miami, like that was like it became like
Yeah, yeah. He changed the culture essentially. But that comes from again, people seeing how certain franchises just like, treated, a player who was very, very loyal to them. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
mean, even in Chicago, when you look at why Jordan retired that second time, it was because he wanted to go back for a seventh ring with the same team. And they was like, no, we want to kind of rebuild. And he's like, we just won a championship. What are we rebuilding for? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And so yeah, I think that does have a lot to do with why this generation is like, yo, I'm gonna do as least as possible. I'm gonna take my time off. I'm prioritizing me. I need mental health days, because they have seen their
yeah.
parents, get shortchanged by these
Shoot.
corporations for being after being very loyal. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true. And also the American dream as we know it no longer exists, right? And they no longer buy into this notion of like working hard, getting a house, finding a wife, having kids. Like the investment of staying loyal is no longer tied to like the job labor. It seems like it's more centered around the freedom, the experience, traveling, flexibility. Like the values have also changed with America. Like it's a complete shift, would you say?